Hey, Quinn Police Motor Training. There are 4 specific areas that most people struggle with when they're trying to find full lock on the motorcycle. Over the years, I've been training police motors and civilians, and these next 4 key areas are the ones that I see over and over again that I think if you pay attention to and you work on will make this much, much easier for you. So let's jump right into it. The first one is real simple. You're just carrying too much speed. Let me explain. So, what did I say? Speed. Here's the situation you're running into right now. You're used to making a leaning movement at maybe 12 miles an hour. So here I am, I'm comfortable leaning the bike over, but I'm doing 12 right now. I'm doing 12 miles an hour. Here's the issue. In order to execute a full lock turn, I need to go about 6 miles an hour. Okay, Quinn, I want to go slow, but as I go slow, I lose my momentum, I lose my inertia, and the bike wants to hit the deck. So, and my foot comes out, or I drop the motorcycle. So your natural reaction to the bike falling over as you try to attempt to get to full lock is that you speed up because you don't like that scary falling over feeling, so we pick up speed. So this is a double-edged sword. Well, I want to lean the motorcycle over, but I'm scared I'm going to drop it, so I'm going to go fast, but I need to turn full lock, so I have to go slow. That's where you need to learn the friction zone. As it leans over and I go full lock slow, listen to the hum of the engine. I have power to the rear wheel, okay? I'm not coasting. I cannot go 9 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour, 12 miles an hour and sit in full lock. I have to go 5, 6 miles an hour, somewhere in there. In order to go slow like that, if I don't have momentum and inertia, I still need power, and that's going to be using this friction zone where the clutch is not fully engaged and it's not fully disengaged, okay? So listen to the motor again one more time and we'll jump on to the next one. Hear that? That is allowing me to go slow enough to execute full lock, and as this motorcycle leans over, I have power, okay? Okay, this next one's actually pretty simple too. You are leaning too far back and you're locking out your arms when you're trying to turn the handlebars. Let me explain that. Okay, so I said you're sitting too far back, you're locking your arms out. Well, what does that mean? What's the problem with that? This is my natural riding position. So here I am, I'm riding down the road, just cruising around, having a good day. Now I want to execute a full lock turn. Here we go, I'm going to slow down, but look, my arm is locked out. I can't go any further, right? So what am I going to do? Not only is my arm locked out and I can't go any further, it's making modulating the clutch a little bit more challenging. So how am I going to fix that? I'm struggling getting full lock. Well, guess what? Guess who's in the way of me getting full lock? I am, because my body is locking out. So what we need to do is move our body forward. Look at that, I'm at full lock there. Now, not only does the bike fall into full lock much easier, but I have way better control on the clutch, the throttle, the front brake. The range of motion for the handlebars at slow speed is far more aggressive than at high speed. If you're going 80 miles an hour, your bars aren't hardly turning at all. You're just turning by leaning. But now we're going 5 miles an hour, and the bar movement, the range of motion with the handlebars is considerable, okay? So don't fight the handlebars range of motion and get in the way of it by locking out your arms. And so this alone is going to be, I promise, going to be one of those aha moments. Okay, this next one is explained very well by Lee Parks in Total Control Training. When we teach our advanced riding clinic, we talk about what he calls a feedback loop. And what he's talking about is this. When you're steering your motorcycle, let's say I'm going to make a right-hand turn, I'm going to generate a counter steer. Well, so take a look at what's happening with the handlebars. As I push my counter steer, what's happening over here? It's pushing this arm, right? So what he's found in his experience over the years is riders tend to, when they're making a turning movement, will generate that counter steer, and then this arm starts getting pushed on, and as a muscle memory, just a reflexive movement, you'll push back against that pushing. So ultimately, you push and you end up fighting that push, which creates more of a push, which creates more of a push, and long story short, you're fighting yourself and you're fighting these handlebars, and the motorcycle simply just wants to make a turning movement, but you're sitting there struggling, effectively locking up the movement of the handlebars. Let the bars move. Don't fight. If your right arm is creating a turning movement, don't fight that movement with your left arm, okay? Two different things. So what I want to do in this case is just relax my arms, nice and soft and nice and smooth and nice and relaxed. Put on some yoni, get your mind right, burn some incense. Just relaxing your arms and not fighting yourself. Less is more. Don't fight with the handlebars. This last one also is pretty simple, and it makes a lot of sense if we walk through it, and it is this. We're simply afraid to lean the motorcycle over. Let me explain. Here's the deal. We are in a slow environment, and because we're going slow, we don't have momentum. If we don't have momentum, we don't have inertia, we don't have that stability that we're comfortable with. Say if we're going 20, 30, 40 miles an hour, and the motorcycle wants to start to lean over to turn. That's comfortable for us because the bike is just stable as can be. As we go slower and slower, the bike becomes less stable. And now what we're talking about, turn the bars all the way over and execute a full tight turning movement. Well, here's what I've already told you. You need to slow down. Well, that means I have even less momentum, even less inertia helping me feel stable. So, boom, what are we going to do there? Well, we're going to drop the motorcycle, or I'm going to give it more throttle and pick the thing back up. So this is part of that problem is as the motorcycle leans over in a slow speed environment, when we don't have those other tools, what are we going to use? Well, I already talked about the friction zone, which is going to create some power to help us maintain that lean angle by putting power to the rear wheel. The other piece that we do have is counterbalancing, okay? Now understand that there is no magic bullet in any of this. It's really kind of a concerted effort of all these things put together. So here's the deal. If the motorcycle starts falling over, I can counter the drop by moving my weight out here. And if I counter that drop, does it mean the bike won't fall over? No, I want it to lean over. But what it does mean is it's going to lean over slower and more controlled. There's less effective weight because I'm countering the drop. So this motorcycle center line starts to fall over. But rather than my center line moving along with it, I'm moving to the outside of that drop. So the bike's going to fall over, which I need it to do to get a nice smooth full lock, but I'm not contributing to the weight, and in fact I'm countering the weight, and the motorcycle is going to fall over and give me the lean angle I want, but without the roller coaster scary feeling, okay? So let me show you what that looks like. This is counterbalancing. The motorcycle falls over and I go the other way. I'm countering that drop, right? I'm going to do an extreme sort of exaggerated version of that. I'm going 6 miles an hour, full lock, okay? And you can sit here and find that and do a full circle. You can do a U-turn, whatever you want. But we're not locking out our arms. We're just counterbalancing, staying in the friction zone, nice and smooth, okay? That's really putting all of this together, okay? Work these drills. Now I've given you 3 specific videos in the descriptions of this video that will break down a lot of these little components. Your body position, your friction zone, where you're going to sit on the bike, how you're going to work the controls to achieve a very comfortable and repeatable full lock scenario, okay? Listen, just work these things. If this was easy and you got it right away, it wouldn't even matter. But the fact that you're sitting here and we're having this conversation tells me it does matter to you. So take the time to learn it. There is no, as I've said, magic bullet with any of this stuff. It just takes time, but I can promise you this. If you work these drills like I'm presenting them to you, you will be able to do this. You're going to have a handful of aha moments throughout some of these videos that you watch, and next time you sit down and really work on a full lock scenario, you're going to say, wow, okay, I think I get it. You're going to find this is actually absolutely doable for you, okay? And once you have it, it is yours, and that is a beautiful thing. Anywhere you go from this point forward, once you get it, it's like riding a bicycle. Once you get it, it's yours, all right? If you have any questions, reach out to me at policemotortraining.com. Just stick with me, do the work, take your time, allow yourself to be lousy at this for a little while, as all of us were, and you will finally get there. All right, take care. Good luck.